In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about douchebag jocks, true witches, and an actual cat in our discussion of Spells Trouble by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Spells Trouble by PC Cast and Kristen Cast.
Sorry, I'm just so excited. I love them. Okay, standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up. Spoilers! This one's pretty new, too, so I kind of feel bad about the spoilers, but I mean...
I don't.
If you're reading PC...
Not at all.
If you're a PC Cast fan, you read her books as soon as they come out. So you can't call yourself a fan, clearly. No, you can. I don't like to say that. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, everyone. Kidding. You can be a fan even if you barely know anything. It's fine.
In the 12 levels of the cult of cast, you've got to be top 3.
Me, personally, I'm top 3.
You've got to be top 3 to be classed as, the ultimate fans. So they're like the ones who get the arcs. They're the ones who are part of the cast ground crew.
Oh, I want to be on her street team so badly.
Now, I think she should start a UK division.
With you.
That's with me. I will
Drew.
be the UK
and Drew.
division.
Listener Drew is there too. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
She also loves PC Cast.
Exactly. So me and Drew can be the UK crew. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, I really want to be a part of it. I just love supporting our author friends in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. There's a lot of new books coming out at the moment that we're very excited for, like Kat Ellis. She's got Burden Falls / Wicked Little Deeds. There's another one that's going to be confusing when we talk about it because there's the 2 titles.
Yes.
But, we'll go with it. And though there's not the same Team Mina as Mina and the Undead kind of backing, if you're going to post about it and you are part of our author family, we're going to shout about it and we're going to harass the internet about it. And I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, me too.
And our small little part.
Yes, me too. We've also got All These Bodies by Kendara Blake coming out soon.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited for that.
We just learned recently that Dawn Kurtagich has Teeth in the Mist 2 coming out. But it's going to be a while, but that just gives us more time to squee about it.
I would rather people take the time and deliver brilliance than have, release day patches.
Yes, yes. Definitely. But so many good things are coming. And
yeah. I'm excited to see what's coming next year because we're at that point where we're going to start finding out what's happening next year.
Yeah.
Kendara Blake's Buffy book.
Yes, Kendara Blake's Buffy book is coming soon too, so that's going to be good.
And then Jackson Ford will have the next Tegan Frost book next year, no doubt. Yes,
that will also be exciting.
And the second book in the Spells Trouble series.
Yes, that's out in April. Something about omens? Oh, I'm excited. Yes. I'm excited. So, now that we've looped back around to talking about Spells Trouble, let's talk about Spells Trouble.
Yeah.
So, there's not a whole lot of background info out right now other than what we already know from when we had PC and Kristen on back in the end of House of Night days.
Yes.
But I did find an interview on Hypable.com, and they're asked, what have been some of your influences or inspirations for this series? And PC says, my pagan belief system helped influence our Sisters of Salem world. I particularly love writing green witch spells. Which of course she does, because she's amazing. But then Kristen said, Supernatural's Rowena And Buffy's Dark Willow are two characters I've drawn inspiration from. If given the choice, I'll always take bad over good. Yeah, you will.
Insert clapping meme here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought that was fantastic. As much as we love Supernatural and Buffy and bad guys, it was like so many great things in that one sentence. It's fantastic. Two sentences. It's two sentences.
But I like the fact they've got two different approaches as well.
Yes.
That makes it, that you can start to see the influences in the book, thinking if you keep those in mind, actually.
Yeah, and it's especially helpful in this one that they have two different backgrounds coming into it because they write two different characters. Kristen wrote Hunter and PC wrote Mercy, and like you can kind of see it, especially if you're as obsessed with them as I am. In a loving way, not in a creepy way. I am not currently
not in kind of
PC
that illegal way.
No.
She is.
I know. But it's wholesome.
It's wholesome stalking.
Wholesome stalking. Yep.
It's on the right side of legal. Just.
It's fine. Look, it's fine. So, I think
when was the last time we talked about a cast book, by the way?
It was House of Night. Was that last summer?
Oh my gosh. It feels like so long ago. I really enjoy talking about the cast books.
Me too.
There's always a lot of discussion.
Yes.
It's always an interesting conversation. And I'm very much looking forward to this.
And I'm always over the top squeeing about it. And you're like questionable, but in a good way. And I'm like...
I like to think I'm the devil's advocate to the sugar high you emanate.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because I have responses to everything. I think everyone can tell my initial thoughts on this one. Just like, just high-pitched and glass shatters. Is there anything else we need to add?
I don't think so, but I will say that a lot of our Patreons have somewhat been inspired or helped through PC Cast and Kristen Cast's books, so I'm hoping they're going to enjoy this one as well.
Me too. Ugh. Oh, contain it, me! Contain it. Alright.
Keep it for after the summary, or parts where during the summary. You can have moments.
Thanks. Alright. In 1692, in Salem, Massachusetts, a mother and her young daughter are in a jail cell listening to the sounds of the gallows. Sarah Goody chews rosemary while stroking young Dorothy's head as she sleeps. Just then, a cat meows outside the jail, and the guard waves his Bible at it, telling Satan's beast to leave. Apparently, he does not know that you can't tell a cat what to do, because the cat enters the jail and squeezes through the bars of Sarah's cell. Dorothy is excited to see Odysseus, and so is Sarah, as she is about to have her familiar help them out of their prison. The guard comes, waving his Bible again, but Sarah spits her rosemary into his face and enchants him to trip, hit his head, and drop his keys. Odysseus, sweet baby kitty that he is, retrieves the keys, and together the three escape into the night. They run to an apple orchard and dig up a box of Sarah's possessions she'd hidden there previously. Sarah calls to the goddess Gaia, requesting her aid, and is shown a path in glowing green light, which she, her daughter, and their cat follow into the darkness. Blessed be, Earth Mother. Thank you for your help.
In present day, Hunter is swimming in Goody Lake, Illinois, enjoying a quiet around her. Until, that is, a boat full of rowdy boys rumbles up. The boys ask if she goes to their school, but instead of answering, Hunter ducks under the water and swims back to shore. She doesn't want to be seen crying because then she'll just become the butt of more jokes. I know. She sits on a chaise and opens her journal, preparing to write a fantastic novel. If she could get past the title. Yeah. Hunter has a lot on her mind and thinks if she can just get through tonight and the ceremony, she'll be more powerful and be able to do whatever she wants, including writing this darn book. Empower me, empower me.
Please. Hunter's friend Emily comes by then. So much for writing! As the girls are sitting in their lounge chairs, a fluffy Maine Coon named Xena strolls up. But Emily is allergic and tries to shoo Xena away. If only Hunter's mom had some sort of cat talking spell so she could ask Xena to leave. Hunter turns away before she has to lie to Emily, who definitely realizes that Hunter's mom does have a cat talking spell. I want the cat talking spell. I need it. Emily pulls out red plastic cups and vodka, preparing for Hunter and her twin sister Mercy's 16th birthday party that's due to start soon. Hunter doesn't like drinking and isn't at all like her colorful and vibrant sister or their beautiful friend, who is currently ogling the boat full of boys. And you know what? That's okay. Hunter is the balance to Mercy's wildness. Then Mercy arrives, and the party gets started.
Mercy sachets up in her pink fringe and embroidered jeans. She's followed by her football captain boyfriend Kirk, who she's trying to teach to be less douchey, and his football bros. Hunter's best friend Jax also arrives then. He's also a football player, but less of a bro, and gives Hunter a beautiful opal fountain pen for her birthday, and a Ruth Gaber Ginsburg pin to Mercy. Perfect presents for the sisters. Kirk gave Mercy his senior ring, which is less than perfect, but it's not so bad. Some of the bros start up a bonfire and get out the vegan hot dogs. Mercy tosses a bundle into the fire as a blessing to the oak tree that they used to start it. But then a snarling beast appears in the smoke. That can't be good.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah. No.
Emily drives the sisters home. When they arrive at their house, the Goody house that's been in their family for generations, the girls get dressed for their midnight ritual while their mom, Abigail, gathers supplies. The girls dress and prepare offerings to their chosen deities, the god Tyr for Hunter and the goddess Freya for Mercy. They talk about the beast in the smoke, and then Hunter realizes why it appeared. Mercy only blessed the oak tree used, but there was apple wood in the bonfire, and apple trees are very important to the Goody family. That's it. That must be why.
That can be the only reason that a snarling beast would ever appear.
Xena the cat arrives then and tells Abigail about the birthday party and how half the school was there. She also talks about Kirk giving Mercy his ring, which leads to a conversation about his penis, Mercy's clitoris, and the gift she bestowed upon her daughters that has been passed through the generations. Multiple orgasms.
Yes.
The girls beg their mom to stop talking about clitorises, and then they head out for their ritual. I love this scene so much. It's hilarious.
It was so awkward. As they walk through the field beyond Goody House, Abigail asks her daughters about the history of their town and the origin of their family. Sarah Goody and her daughter Dorothy left Salem, Massachusetts, following a ley line shown to them by Gaia. The line led them and a group of travellers to what will become Illinois, where they founded the town of Goodville, where the 5 ley lines intersect to form a pentagram. Sarah, a green witch, magically called forth trees at each point of the pentagram, which symbolised 5 gates to the underworld. An apple tree at the Norse gate, an olive tree at the Greek gate, a cherry tree at the Japanese gate, a duum palm tree at the Egyptian gate, and a banyan tree at the Hindu gate. Tonight, the sisters will join their mother in a ritual to protect the North Gate.
They begin the ceremony, Abigail lighting the white spirit candle at the foot of the Norse apple tree and calling to her goddess Athena. She says she follows the path of the kitchen witch. Mercy lights the next candle, the green candle, and begins invoking her goddess. But as they're walking to the next point, Mercy twists her ankle on a rotten apple filled with worms. No, thank you. Abigail is startled, but directs Mercy to reset her intentions, and they continue. Mercy lights the brown candle, calls to Freya, and declares that she is a green witch. Hunter lights the next candle, the yellow one, and calls to Tyr. When she places the blue candle, the final one, she declares herself a cosmic witch. The witches sit in the middle of their circle with quilts and incense and visualize strengthening the gate and recognizing their feelings. Mercy calls to Freya, but only gets a small amount of assistance from her. Then Hunter cries out to Tyr. They look to the apple tree gate and see a giant beast coming through it.
Yikes.
No, thank you.
Close that door. Oh my God.
Yikes.
As the snarling wolf crawls from the underworld, Abigail calls to Athena for protection, but she's attacked. Hunter and Mercy run, but Hunter turns back. The wolf bites into her arm and Xena arrives for the battle, jumping onto the wolf's snout. Athena's owl swoops down then on the wolf. Abigail is struck by a bright orange lightning, and with the power of Athena, throws a spear into the beast, piercing it to the trunk of the tree. She tells Fenrir he is not meant for this world, but he attacks. Abigail lights the beast on fire with her hands. That's badass. Hunter knows her mother doesn't have much time left in this world, so she goes to her. Abigail, with the voice of Athena, tells Hunter not to wait until the solstice to fix the other gates and to watch out for her sister. Then the flames consume her and Fenrir. Oh my goodness.
Yikes.
Oh my goodness.
That was
terrible.
Terrible. It was a terrible surprise. Across town, by the olive tree, Sheriff Dearborn is called to investigate a disturbance. He smells smoke and sometimes the waft of sea air. He and his dispatcher, Trish, are having a nice radioed conversation about the train line cutting its way through the town 5 years ago, and about poor old Earl who called in the trouble at the tree. It seems this time, though, he might have actually found something, but what? We can't say. Earl is dead on the ground. The sheriff asks Trish to call an ambulance and the coroner, but then he grabs his throat.
Ooh. The next day, Hunter and Mercy are visited by Sheriff Dearborn and Deputy Carter. Sheriff Dearborn is a little, off. But he did see an eyeballess corpse just a few hours ago, so maybe, we'll cut him some slack. I might explain it. The officers ask the twins to explain what happened at their midnight picnic that resulted in their mother's death. They have made up a story about their candles causing a fire that killed her. The sheriff makes a snide comment about insurance money, and Hunter wishes she had dark magic to shut him the hell up. But then he asks her for a drink, so she goes inside. Mercy can barely function, but stays outside with the police, who have now asked if they have any family nearby to be their guardian. Hunter talks to Xena while she's inside and cries into her fur about how they're going to have to leave their home. Then Xena sneezes in her face and turns into a beautiful woman. I can't help but imagine, regardless of Xena being cat or human form, she's going to sneeze in your face.
I know. Oh, I love her. Oh, I love her so much.
Please enter our favourite character. Bob. We'll be subtle in our love.
Will we, though? Will we?
No.
Outside, Sheriff Dearborn is still being awkward and rude about being thirsty. So finally, Mercy snaps about how they aren't the best hosts right now because their mom died. And then they walk inside. Deputy Carter asks again about family, but then is introduced to Aunt Xena.
Yay!
Mercy and Hunter lock eyes, and Mercy immediately plays along with the ruse that Xena is their aunt, or really, their mom's cousin, who has come to care for them. The officers leave, and shortly afterward, the girls' friends come over. They all offer support, and Emily tells them her dad will help with the plans for their mother. Xena dismisses them quickly, though, because the twins really need to visit the gates in the trees. She hisses at Kirk when he dawdles as he's leaving, and then she stalks a moth, just like any normal, regular human ant would do. I love her so much. It's a little too real, that. I love her
so much. Okay. Hunter and Mercy leave to check out the other gate trees. Mercy can normally sense and hear the nature around her, but not today. Not since her mum died. The girls drive toward the olive tree first, but when they see the sheriff's car and police tape there, they decide to go to the banyan tree instead. Mercy still can't feel anything, but when her anger causes her to hit the tree, the bark sloughs away to reveal worms underneath. The tree also smells bad, like rotten eggs and sulphur, which is what Fenrir smelled like too. It can't be good. That can't be good. They gather some dead leaves from the tree and begin to head to the next tree when Emily texts that her dad is ready to help them. They decide to pause in their gate checking and take care of their mum. Emily's dad Dominic is Goodville's funeral director and is going to help bury Abigail at the Good house. Mercy is still struggling with her grief, so Hunter has to take charge. She's always used to being the strong one since she's been bullied since middle school, and she's still the strong one now. On the drive home, Mercy asks how Hunter is getting through this like it's nothing. If only Mercy could be like Hunter. Hunter really wants to help her sister, but she decides she can't do it on her own. She needs their friends.
I love the friends. At home, while Mercy stares into nothingness, Hunter gathers a cauldron, moonstones, and moonwater. She reminisces about her mother teaching her to organize all her supplies and holds her tear pendant, asking her God for help as she prepares the ritual to cleanse the grief from her sister. Their friends arrive, and they sit around the cauldron, Mercy stirring when she realizes that they're going to work a spell. Kirk is douchey about the witchcraft, but Emily, Jax, and Hunter put him in his place. They set their intention and begin, Hunter asking the moon water to cleanse her sister. They each drop a moonstone into the water, then Hunter helps Mercy put her face in the cauldron. When she pulls her face out, an imprint of her is left in the water. Hunter is so pleased because her spell work was successful. Her sister's grief has left. But then Mercy says it was all because of Kirk and his power and light, which makes Hunter angry enough to cut crescents of blood into her palm with her fingernails. She closes the ritual and plunges her hand into the cauldron, her blood drawing the stones into her hand. Ugh, Kirk.
At the police station, Frank Dearborn is looking at his reflection in the bathroom mirror. Except that's not Frank Dearborn. There's something else inside his body. Something cursed. Ugh. Frank rubs his eyes, one always clouding up, a sign of the curse. He begins to feel sick and hot and overwhelmed with the world these people live in. When Deputy Carter comes in, he leaves the bathroom and runs into Trish, who asks if he's feeling okay and tries to take care of him. He can remember that Frank and Trish had some sort of relationship, but that's over now. Now that he is Frank, he begins coughing thick, wet coughs and goes outside for air, where he encounters Dominic Parrott coming to do his funeral director work, until Frank pops out his eyeballs and eats them. Hoping they will be the ones to break the curse. They're not, unfortunately, and now he's got a body to deal with. He shouts for help, and those in the police department come running. Yikes.
Yikes.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
Just pop out an eyeball and eat him. No.
No.
No. Gross.
at least prepare them properly, you know?
Cook them.
A bit of paprika.
Yeah, something. Ugh. Ugh. Back at the Goody house, Mercy is beginning to feel like herself again as Jax and Kirk get ready to leave. Kirk is, surprising no one, douchey again, and Mercy doesn't like it, but she does appreciate how he helped in the ritual. Emily decides to stay the night, and they talk about the ritual and how cool Emily thought it was and how she wants to pretend to almost be a witch. They plan to order pizza, and as Emily texts her dad to tell him she's staying with the twins, Deputy Carter pulls into the driveway. Hunter goes inside to get Xena as the detective tells Emily that her father has been killed. Mercy, Hunter, and Xena hold Emily in strength and love, and then Deputy Carter takes her home. The sisters decide they need to go check the gate trees, and it turns out they're all sick. Mercy's Green Witch powers are back, and she vomits as she checks on the Japanese gate. The twins try to think of what could have happened to make all the trees sick, and Mercy thinks that maybe because Hunter worships a god, Tyr, instead of a goddess, that is what's causing the gates to weaken. But she can't say that to her sister. Hunter decides to go to a nursery the next day to ask for non-magical tree help, while Mercy and Xena look through books to find a ritual or spell to heal the trees.
Mercy wakes late the next day as Hunter and Jax are leaving for the arborist. Xena is napping, but pulled a lot of books for Mercy to look through, and she looked through some herself the night before. Before getting to work today, she checks on Emily, who reveals that her father was strangled to death, and then his eyeballs were taken. All of this started happening the night Abigail died, and Hunter chose to serve a god instead of a goddess. But then she realises that their mother wouldn't have let anything bad happen, and she would have known if worshipping a god would have caused this. She pushes that thought away and looks through the books again. This time she finds something that she thinks will work, an old ritual performed by another Goody witch long ago.
Kirk comes by and interrupts Mercy's studying. Mercy just wants to feel normal again, so they start making out. But then the making out progresses into something more. The two go up to her bedroom and enjoy the time they have together, exploring each other with their mouths and hands. Thanks, Mom, for that awesome family trait you passed down. Mercy isn't sure she's proud of herself for having done what they just did. Not that she should be ashamed, but she's worried that Hunter will be upset with her. So they decide not to say anything for now. Mercy is excited because Kirk said he loves her, and he even called her his goddess. Oh.
Pointed looks constantly.
Pointed looks everywhere.
Meanwhile, Hunter and Jax are at the nursery looking for something to kill tree worms. The girl behind the counter is pretty flirty with Hunter, and Jax tries to get Hunter to go back and talk to her, but she has decided that ever since she was bullied for having a crush on a girl in middle school, she's not going to even try to date until she's out of Goodville. They weave their way through the plants, laughing and joking together. Until Jax sees his neighbour, who he accidentally stared at topless for a little too long. And so he scrambles underneath the table and hides behind the plants. Hunter crawls Hunter too, and they hide as the sexy neighbour walks up, talking to her friend about what she overheard about Dominic Parrott. That sobers Hunter up, and she decides that his death and her mom's and the gate trees are all connected, and she's got to do something about it. They head home, where they see Kirk coming outside. Hunter isn't quite up to dealing with him, but gets angry when she hears Kirk tell Jax that he just got some of Mercy's goodies, air quotes, and that Jax shouldn't hang out with Hunter because girls don't like it when you have female friends. Fucking gross, man.
Kirk, I hate this guy. It's
such a
especially
douche.
Mercy's goodies, because that's her fucking last name. It's disgusting.
It's so immature. It's
gross. It's
Hunter throws her bright blue slushie at Kirk. Good for you, Hunter. and goes inside.
I would definitely waste a slushie ruining that guy.
Yeah. Kind of cause some brain freeze.
Ugh. Mercy and Hunter talk about their plans for healing the trees, but they do not talk about the sexy times they just had and also heard about. Nor do they talk about how much of a douche Kirk is.
Leave that to us, ladies.
Mercy found several healing rituals in the old family grimoires, and Hunter got out the insecticide she bought. They decide to mix the old with the new, mix magic and science. Then the pantry door opens, leading them to believe that their mother is there supporting them. Hunter gets down her tarot cards and does a reading to see which tree they should visit first. The Egyptian palm. Xena saunters in, gets some tuna and cream, and praises her kittens for doing such good work in preparing the ritual. The twins gather all their supplies, Mercy thinking again about how Hunter chose Tyr and wondering if that's what's causing all their trouble. When everything is gathered, Xena comes outside and tells the girls they need to make it rain so people will abandon the area around the tree. I love that Xena's just walking around in the background drinking cream from a goblet and then pouring it on her tuna. Eating her tuna.
She's very particular about her tuna, though. Very, very particular.
She is.
As she has every right to be.
She does. Xena can do no wrong.
She can't.
She's perfect in every way.
Hunter and Mercy's ritual around the Egyptian palm seems to be going well. They called the rain and set their intention of protecting and healing the tree, and sprayed their mixture of herbs and insecticide all around. Then, all of a sudden, a wavery form of a man appears with a spear and a shield. Except he's not a man. He's got a frightening dragon crocodile face. It's the Kentai Amentai, guardian of the Egyptian underworld. When he realises the sisters are confused by his face, he changes his appearance and talks to them about being gatekeepers and how he's been standing guard because the gate is failing. He tells the girls that if creatures from the underworld come through the gate, they have to kill a creature and take its form in order to survive in this realm. In essence, there'll be a monster walking around in a skin suit. That's not good. Mm-mm. That's bad times.
Mm-mm.
Bad times.
Mm.
And yeah, that's what's happened at the Greek gate. But who's walking around in a skin suit?
Oh my god.
Ooh.
All I can imagine, and what I started imagining when the very first stuff happened with Sheriff Dearborn, is Vincent D'Onofrio shambling around in a brand new Edgar suit from Men in Black. That's all I could think of the entire time.
Yes. I got that as well.
I loved it. Oh.
It's not quite precise as well. Yeah.
The sisters thank the Guardian, who offers to help if they need it, and then they head for the Greek gate. Hunter and her tarot cards are drawn, not to the tree, but to the blood-darkened grass where Earl's body was found. She thinks about when she added her blood to the spell she did with Mercy, and wonders if it wouldn't be so bad if she used blood magic in addition to her cosmic magic. The tarot cards tell her that a creature came through the gate, killed someone, and that creature is a Cyclops who takes the eyeballs of his victims. So, how do they stop a Cyclops?
Poke him in his one eye.
Poke him in his one eye, exactly. They look closer at the Cyclops in the tarot cards and see that he has a star on his eye and a star in his chest hair. They decide it must mean that the Cyclops wearing the skin suit must be a star, as in, like, a local celebrity. But who? Hunter nervously bites her nails like she always does and spits one out as they walk back to the car. The fingernail coils into black smoke as it hits the ground.
Ooh. Polyphemus, who is currently wearing the skin suit of Sheriff Dearborn, has driven to Goody Lake. He hates who he has become, hates to kill people, and wants to live his own life again, away from Tartarus, the Greek underworld. He longs to end the curse put on him by Numia, the nymph, who has eyes just like his. But she doesn't truly love him. She hates him. Polyphemus longs to feel the sun and the water on his true skin, but he can't be himself again until he finds the right eyes to break the curse. He needs the help of an oracle so he can escape this torturous life. Though this world doesn't have oracles. But it does have witches. And he needs to find one. To the phone book.
Hunter and Mercy go back home and talk to Xena about Polyphemus. Xena says his curse is that he must search the earth until he has found that which could not be discovered. Meaning, he has to find his second eye, which doesn't exist.
Huh?
She suggests not to pity the Cyclops, even though his story is sad, because he's also an eyeball-eating murderer. In addition to this, Xena talks about what she likes about being human. Eating chocolate and cannabis truffles, wearing Abigail's robe because it feels like her friend is hugging her, taking baths, and, of course, her magnificent hair. This is not integral to the story, but Xena is fantastic and everyone needs to know everything about her.
That is fair.
The girls ask how to kill the Cyclops, and Xena suggests the best way would be to push him back through the gate into Tartarus, because even if they killed his skin suit, he might take over another body, and we can't have that.
No. The girls decide to look in Sarah Goody's grimoire to see what she did when she closed the gates the first time, thinking if they did something similar while they strengthened them, it would work. Sarah used settlers from the original town to help, so Hunter and Mercy will also need people who are from the town to help them. They will work the spell together at each gate, and here's something interesting, seal the spell with their blood. They decide to ask Jax and Emily to assist in addition to themselves and Xena, but Emily is overwhelmed with her father's death, so they have to ask Kirk. Pointed look. Xena is adamant that the girls not tell their friends anything about the gates because they are not goody witches. They should only know enough to set their intentions. The girls agree.
Mercy looks through Sarah's grimoire again to begin to gather materials and finds some pages have been stuck together. On the hidden page, there is a poem written by Sarah that foretells what is happening right now. There shall come a day when they will sicken with sulphur and rot, fierce and deadly. The goody witches sworn cannot prevent it, cannot protect them, and so the gates shall fall open, until a chosen God is forsaken. Then, by parting, they are mended together again. Well, that settles it. It really is because Hunter chose Tyr as her god, and so Mercy tells her sister that, which causes a huge fight. Hunter says they're going to do the ritual and then never talk about her choosing Tyr again. Mercy begins to gather materials and plan for how the ritual will work, since she'll probably be leading it, and then she has an idea about how to help Hunter.
The girls go to meet Kirk and Jax after football practice the next day. The boys know they're going to help with the spell, but they don't know what they're going to do just yet, and they find out that they have to, in the most generically described ways possible. Yeah? Buy a gift for a tree and say a few words. Okay. The boys ponder what exactly to buy a tree as a gift. Yeah, good question. But then Kirk gets called away by their coach. Jax has been obviously put off by Kirk this entire time, and now we know why. He reveals to Mercy that Kirk told everyone about her giving him a blowjob and everything else that happened. She says if he told, he must have had a good reason because he loves her and wouldn't hurt her. Yeah. The reason was to brag about it because he's a shitbag. Yeah?
Fucking worst. Ugh, high school boys. Gross.
Hunter is not surprised because she always thought Kirk was disingenuous, but Mercy storms off, telling them both they're jealous because they've never been in a relationship before. Yeah, sure, that's it. And not because he's a bloody shitbag.
Nope. Definitely not that.
Dick.
Mercy decides to prove to everyone how great Kirk is by using her magic to amplify their voices through the trees. She confronts him about his douchiness and how telling private things to his bros in the locker room is misogynistic, and he starts crying and pleading and begging for her not to leave him, which she definitely wasn't going to do. Then the football bros make fun of him for crying like a bitch, and then Kirk joins in with them and makes fun of Mercy for her orgasms and says that he had fun with her for a little while, but she's too much work. Then he realizes that their voices are amplified because she did some witchy shit and mocks her for that too. Hunter approaches then, and Kirk starts in on her for being a lesbian. Kirk, come on, man.
What
Hunter,
a dick.
as angry as she is the bigger person, and tells Kirk he's not worth it while quoting Yeats and blessing her library card.
Yes.
The sisters walk off while Jax comes in swinging. Oh, I love Jax.
Jax.
Oh, I love him.
Mercy just wants to be left alone, so she goes off and cries under the bleachers. Hunter continues fuming, planning even to go back and fight with Kirk, while also being angry at her sister for always choosing Kirk over her and making her feel less because she's never been in a relationship. But then she hears a wet cough. It's Sheriff Dearborn. She goes to help him when he coughs so much his sunglasses come off. She sees one of his eyes is clouded and blind, and she realises he is polyphemus. And he makes it even more obvious by calling her Bright Eyes. Ugh. Hunter calls her sister and tells her what she knows.
They gather all their supplies and go to pick up Emily, who, thank every deity in the known universe, will be the person to complete their group now that we all realize that Kirk is a wiener bag. Emily is afraid to leave her house because her drugged-out mom or her addled grandma or her drunken grandpa might need her. Mercy shouts that Emily's mother should be her mother and care for her, and her grandparents should be her support, and that she should be able to leave the house without them falling apart. Emily's mother and grandmother appear at the door and agree with zero fuss. So Emily joins her friends and Xena, who makes her sneeze. On the car ride to the gates, the sisters and Xena explain everything. That they're true witches and an actual cat, and that they have to protect the gates and kill a Cyclops. Jax and Emily are not surprised at all and go along with everything as if it's all completely normal.
Mercy begins to explain what steps everyone will take and what they all need to do. But when she gets to Hunter, she's angry. Hunter shouts that she's the one who's going to kill the Cyclops, and she's going to forsake her god, not because she believes what the poem says is true, but because Mercy can't get over herself or understand that just because Hunter is a lesbian, it doesn't mean that she chose a boy god because she wants to be a boy and didn't choose Jax as her best friend for the same reason. She just loves people for who they are, and she's sure that this gender bullshit didn't exist when the poem was written anyway. But she's going to do it because Mercy can't. So she goes off to the sheriff's department. I really enjoyed her impassioned speech, by the way.
Me too. Me too. It's freezing inside the police department. Trish explains that Sheriff Dearborn is struggling with staying cool and having mood swings, almost like he's going through male menopause. If she only knew what was actually happening right now. Hunter explains, awkwardly, that she needs help at the olive tree, but that what she needs help with is too weird to explain, so they just need to go there. Sheriff Polyphemus comes out, and they go. He commands Deputy Carter to stay there and keep the town safe while he and Hunter go to the tree. Hunter comments on how he made the right guess as to which twin she is, but he'd never forget the light behind her blue eyes. Meanwhile, Mercy is leading Jax, Emily, and Xena through the ritual, trusting that Hunter is in place and doing what she needs to do as well. She can't be on the phone with him, obviously, because then Polyphemus would know the whole plan. As Mercy closes the ritual, she reaches out to Hunter with their witchy twin link and feels nothing. She shouts for Emily to come get her because Hunter is gone.
Whoa. Okay, so she's not gone, she's just busy.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
I thought you had the witchy equivalent of airplane mode turned on.
Yes, yeah. Well, you know, Polyphemus can't know what's going on, okay? So put it in airplane mode.
Exactly. Witchy airplane mode engaged. She has led Polyphemus to where she did her tarot reading before, leaving behind the scorched earth. She begins her ritual as Polyphemus strokes his meaty hand down her face.
Gross.
She bites into his thumb, drawing blood, and mixes it with her own. Yuck. Blech. She removes Tyr's pendant and apologises to him for casting him aside, then calls Amphitrite, Poseidon's wife and the goddess of the sea. She offers Polyphemus to her as proof of Poseidon's infidelity and a request for help. Amphitrite appears and responds as her blue light engulfs Polyphemus and drags him back to Tartarus. "You are mine now, Hunter Gertie," she says, as she takes the Cyclops away. Ooh.
The next day, all seemingly back to normal, Hunter, Mercy, Jax, and Emily are at the park near the Doom Palm. Mercy is trying to pretend everything is okay and starts a football game. She throws to Jax, who's not the best football player in the entire world, who doesn't catch the ball, which hits the tree as he knocks into Hunter. He looks at the tree and sees that where the ball hit is shattered and broken. Hunter begins to scream as they all mutter that they thought they had fixed the trees. She is full of anger at her sister for forcing her to forsake her god for nothing. She asks Jax to take her away and bites down into her lip hard enough to draw blood. As it trickles down her throat, she realizes the true power she has and how she's going to use it to fix everything without her sister.
Ooh.
Oh! The end!
Question mark.
Question mark. The end until April. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we need to take a break for a second. Maybe go stir up some eyeballs.
Well, I was thinking a tuna and cream break might be
Tuna
nice.
and cream might be better than eyeballs.
Yeah, I'd rather have tuna and cream than eyeballs.
All right, so everyone take a break for a second. Go get your eyeballs, go get your tuna, and listen to this ad.
Hi there, I'm Volley, one of the hosts of the Reading Queens podcast. If you love books, fandom discussions, and having a good time, join your new internet friends as we take on such topics and more. Hosted by a group of published authors, Reading Queens is a podcast for every book lover. Every week, we get together to blab about our favorite books, why we love them, and the book boyfriends we wish were real. You can find the episodes on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms, with a new episode launching every Wednesday. Thanks. Now back to the show.
I love this book. I love PC Cast. I love Kristen Cast. It's so much fun. It's like the same as House of Night, but not. But kind of the same, but not the same. But it's that like same idea, and you get the same sense that you get.
Do you remember when we talked
House of
about
Night?
the House of Night, and we said it seemed to have gone from being about vampires to being about magic, and it's like lost its initial identity and changed.
Yeah.
For me, this book was what the House of Night kind of wanted to be. Almost makes you feel like the vampire element was shoehorned into the House of Night because they were the, it was the trope du jour at the time, so it would sell the book. Whereas now it's kind of like, what do you want to... She's, the casts are established, best-selling authors. They've got a little bit more freedom. And it's like, this is what they wanted the House of Night to be, almost.
Yeah,
it's that witch story they're finally getting to tell.
Yeah, I can see that. Because really, in 2007 or whatever, when these books started coming out, you're right. It was all vampires all the time. Or all dystopias all the time.
Yeah.
So,
don't get me wrong, I love my vampire books.
Oh, me too. Me too.
But now again, I just want something with magic.
Yes.
There wasn't much whimsy in this, though.
No, there was some whimsy. There was some cat person whimsy. But yeah, it's... I understand what you're saying about this being like... It's almost like this is the story that they wanted to tell to begin with.
Yeah.
But is it set in the same world? Because it needs to be set in the same world. It feels like it's set in the same world.
If it's not officially set in the same world, we've got to make it happen. Like, this is our canon. It has to.
It really, really does. And we have ideas about that, but I don't know if we need to share that now or if we should hang on for a little bit. But seriously.
We can get to it eventually.
You want to? In this episode... In the bonus episode! Oh, man.
God, we can't keep a secret.
No, we can't. We're really bad at keeping secrets. Really, really bad at keeping secrets.
But we always put the little tidbits out there. The signs are always there.
The signs are there. You just have to pay attention. You have to look closely at everything that we put out on social media about what's coming up next. And then you would know. Then you would know.
Read it all. Why is
Read
that
it all
pluralized?
Carefully. Oh.
Why does it say that there?
Oh.
Just that extra explain.
Oh.
Anywho,
yeah, so I love this book.
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it because, I don't know, it was just suitably different from everything that we've been reading at the moment. It's been quite nice, quite refreshing.
Yes, I love their books because there's a lot going on, but it's not daunting. It's a fun, easy read with a whole lot of terrible things happening, but you also don't feel so terrible about it because the main characters generally are very pure, and they have, they're surrounded by love and family, and that's something that's really important in all of PC Cast books. We know this. We've talked to PC Cast plenty of times. We know that, love and family and being surrounded by that is important. And that always happens, and you just can't help but feel wholesome about it.
It's one thing the casts do a fantastic job of is the found family element as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They really know how to make that group dynamic of friends work really nicely. So I really, really enjoyed having Emily and Jax. I enjoyed, Hunter and Mercy interacting with them. I possibly even liked Emily and Jax more than Hunter and Mercy. As individual characters.
I have thoughts about Emily, but as we said, we're not going to get to those right now, but I have thoughts, okay? I have things.
Hopes, dreams, and desires.
Entire storylines planned out.
Oh, you're doing the fanfic Imaginarium this week.
Oh my gosh. How could I not? I have to combine these worlds. It's important to me as a PC Cast nerd.
I honestly, if it turns out that there is a House of Night based in Goville, Illinois, I'll be very happy.
There's got to be one nearby. How far away is Chicago? Not that far away. In the grand scheme of things. I don't know how far away they are. But anyway, yes. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Oh, I have so many ideas about this. Just, if even one of them can, it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen, but just let me live in my fan fiction world for a little while, okay?
You're there. It's fine. You take residence. The larder is stocked with cream and eyeballs and tuna. You're fine.
Good.
And vegan hot dogs.
Very good. Thank you.
Can we get over the awkward scenes now? Can we just, so we can move past them?
We can. And you remember, as I said at the top of the show, I will have a response to everything that you say. Ready, go.
The sex scene was awkward AF. Like, it was awkward. It was just awkward.
It totally was. But
you know, I am not afraid of a sex scene. I have the smuttiest of smut and trashiest of trash, and the bodice of corset rippers and all of the bosoms everywhere on my bookshelf.
Yes, all bosoms all the time.
I do not mind adult fiction. But that scene was pretty awkward.
You know why it was awkward? It was their first time. They're 16. Time. It's gonna be weird, man.
Yeah, I know, and that's fine. But I just needed out there that I felt it was very awkward, and yeah.
That's my explanation for really any weird things that happen. Anything that you think, well, that doesn't really add up. Why are they doing that? It's because they're kids. They're 16. They just really claimed their witchiness. They're brand new little babies, so they're gonna do everything wrong, and that's okay.
And they've done things wrong to very varying degrees, because they've been taught by the mum they can embrace the sexuality, and that's fine. It's healthy. It's good. It's natural. It's nature. Do it. So the fact that she gave him a blowjob and, she got off on his hand, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine. It was awkward because it was a 16-year-old having sex for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like, and this is not because it's awkward, it's more because I just didn't particularly like it, and I felt like there's going to be repercussions for it, and I really want there to be repercussions for it, is the way they got rid of the grief. Mercy's grief. I'm a little sad by that because she needs to process the death. She needs to process what's happening to the mum, and it's like they've taken that off her. It's like they've stolen that from her without permission, and I'm hoping there's repercussions about that because that's dangerous. It can be very damaging. So I'm hoping there's repercussions. I didn't like it. I can understand why it happened in the narrative, and yes, your argument that they're 16, they're going to do stupid things, and I would put that under they've done something silly there, that they should have not really understood the consequences to their actions and that. But I do hope there's repercussions because it's very dangerous to magic away the grief and not let the process take place.
I do like that they said, we're not taking away all of your grief. They made sure that line was there. We're not taking away all of your grief, which is good because if they hadn't said that, then she could turn into some sort of crazy fucking monster in the next couple of books, which we know that PC Cast enjoys a good monster. So it's
tentacles,
spider beast, yes.
Sharp, pointy teeth everywhere.
Yes.
And
oozing.
especially linking and thinking back. This is why you said about the quotes and the background information, and Kristen liked the dark willow element. This is me thinking, oh, that could be part of the dark willow element. Please.
And
so, yeah,
especially because at the end, Hunter says, I'm gonna do this with blood magic without my sister. So something's going to happen in the next one. There's going to be some sort of split. And hopefully, in our imaginations, it gets as terrible as it could be, because that's what we like.
Yes, I want horror. I want horrific. I want terrible and grotesque and ghastly. And we know that both PC and Kristen are more than able and more than willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels like it's really light in comparison to what could happen. And I think it's just going to be a trilogy as well.
Right.
So I'm really excited for it being a trilogy, because it means that the story's going to be nice and tight, and we're going to get that, you know, turn and that resolution and that, oh my god, and the trips and the tricks quickly. And we're going to get that almost instant gratification.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
If it wasn't the fact there's going to be a year between all publications. But yeah,
right, but they're so fast. They're so fast. This book just came out last month, and now their next one is already coming out in April. They're so good at that. They're so good at writing really good stories and just cranking them out. I think we said something about that, how PC Cast is some sort of machine or something. We made some comments during the House of Night discussions about how she can just bam, 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 turn these books out, and they're good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I liked about this one? Like, not thinking into my fan fiction and not thinking about the future where I hope everything is terrible. I really liked the mythology that was thrown into it, and the ley lines. Love a good ley line story. Hello, like Raven Boys is one of my favorite series of all times, and it's all about ley lines. So I love that. I love this magic and how the ley lines intersect and they form this pentagram that is guarding the underworld from different mythologies. I think that's really cool. I like it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. I like that. And I didn't know, before reading it, because I tried not to like get any spoilers or read too much into anything, but I didn't know that there was going to be so much mythology in this. And so I really liked it. And, if it had been out when we did our mythology month, we could have covered it then, because it would have fit perfectly. But it wasn't out then.
It's fine. We'll just create a theme for next year for the second book.
I'm not surprised. That's what we did for this one. That's why we have our witch month. Oh.
No, it was excellent. It was really good. Any book that I'm you talked about like our anticipated reads and stuff. It's very rare if it's an existing author that I'm aware of. I'll go and actually read the bluff. I'll be like, yeah, it's fine. You can sell me whatever you want. It can be Snake Oil for I like it. I'll still buy it off you.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's perfectly fine. So if you're established within my bookshelf, I'll probably just throw my money at you. It's fine. So I didn't even look into it too much either. I probably knew about as much as what PC told us last time I spoke to her.
Yes, I remember her like hinting at how great Xena was, but not telling us about it. And then I was like, oh my god, Xena's fantastic. Xena is so great.
She's the total MVP of the entire
book.
And I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it right now. She's going to be our favourite character through the entire series.
There's no question.
Full stop.
She's so delightful.
Copy and paste that in all of the episodes.
Yes. Oh. Do you know that this is kind of a surprise as well as a standout moment for me. Kirk's douchey reveal. Like I hated it, but I loved it at the same time because I hate him, and he clearly got punched in the face by Jax, which he definitely deserved. But I was so shocked that he flipped so quickly.
Yes.
He's down on the ground crying and sobbing, oh, don't leave me. And then his bros are there and he's like, oh yeah, you're a slut. I'm done with you. I got your goodies and now I'm done. Like, ugh.
I didn't know where the hell the crying and it was an ugly cry as well. You could tell there was snot in there.
Yeah. Ooh, and they do love a good snot cry, don't they?
Yeah. where the hell it came from. It hit me out of left field. Like, I was listening to the book, she went to go and talk to him, used the magic spell to amplify, which is a stupid move. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you're going to break up with me, don't leave me, I love you, you're the best, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? I actually rewound the audiobook. I went back and I was like, I can't understand why he reacted the way he reacted. I just don't get it. And also, do the casts hate jocks?
Probably.
Because Heath, and this is my hill and I will stand on it. Heath is a jock and he's a dick as well. And you know my feelings on Heath.
Yeah, but like everyone else in the entire world loves Heath, and I really don't understand why, because Heath is...
I don't get it.
Give me Aurochs. Give me Aurochs any day. I will gladly take Aurochs over Heath. But yeah, I mean...
Yeah,
but you know...
Have they had many jock encounters and that this is like cathartic?
Probably. But there was also Jax, who was also a football guy, even though, like...
He's borderline football guy. He plays football, but does he play football?
Not well. Not well. But still, it was a little bit of a redeeming bro.
Yes, at least as one of them. I just, yeah.
Especially because he punched Kirk in the face.
Yeah. I really like Jax. I really do like them. And that again, it's part of that whole found family thing. You know, you can be friends with boys and you can be friends with girls and you don't have to have that sexual tension there. And I really, really like that. And I hope they keep it like that.
Yeah.
In part. And I know we said during the summary, the impassioned speech, Hunter's speech.
Yeah.
About, you know, I don't know, it was really good. The fact that she was trying to tell her sister, stop treating me like anything other. I am who I am. I love who I love. I like what I like. I give you that respect. You should pay that respect back to me. And I was like, yes. This was absolutely fantastic. I loved that speech. It was really empowering.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really annoyed with Mercy, because of the way she was instantly... Well, it's because you picked a god. It's because you picked a god. That's your fault. You picked a god. But the mum, Abigail, was like, oh, it's a long time since a goody witch has picked a god, and it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
So Abigail was perfectly happy and fine with it. Therefore, you little miss should keep your mouth shut and be happy and fine with it as well, because your mother knows a hell of a lot more than what you do.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I was so... That entire thing, the way it kept coming up in the book and causing the strife, I was just like, shut up. Think about it for 2 seconds and then shut up.
Yeah.
If you've got nothing nice to say about that, then you need to stop, reassess your priorities and your principles, and keep your mouth shut.
You know, I kind of thought, because of course we know that Abigail knows best. May she rest in peace. We know that she knows.
Tract of a giant wolf.
Yes. We know that she knows what she's doing, and she was okay with it and fully supported her daughter for choosing a god. I kind of thought that as any old work, any poem, any sort of thing like this can be open to interpretation if you're open to it, I kind of thought that it was implying Kirk, because Kirk is messing all this stuff up. And you know, Mercy kind of treats him like a god, and he called her his goddess. So I kind of thought, okay, this is where it is. This is the trouble.
They were reading it too literally as being an actual deity.
Yeah. So we'll see, though. We'll see in the future if that comes back, or if I'm just reading too much into things, which I wouldn't be surprised about.
I do think they've misinterpreted, though, and I don't understand why everybody didn't pour over this poem. And what kind of got me as well is when she said that she's taken out all of the extra words and made the language more modern. I was like, are you doing it right? Have you done it right? I would be like, can I see the original and just check, please? I wouldn't be leaving it to chance. Not something this big. Not when we're talking about a situation that's literally murdered your mother and has murdered the friend's father and is going to, you know, it's like an apocalypse. If the Hellmouth's open, it's all hands on deck and you don't rely on just one person doing all of the interpretation, especially when that person's 16 and their only qualification is they like to read.
Yeah.
That was a bit annoying to me, actually.
It was.
Everybody read.
Everyone should be working on this right now. But, like, can you imagine Hunter? She probably wouldn't even want to have anything to do with it because she's so fed up with how her sister makes her feel about her choices. So, of course, she's going to be like, I don't even want to fucking look at that poem. Get it out of my face. Shut up. Like...
Well, that... Exactly, because Mercy would have probably introduced it as, here's the poem that's telling you that you are a bad person doing bad things and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah, not good. Not good. No. But you know what? They're 16 and they make poor choices.
That is true.
But you know what else? They're probably going to learn from it.
I hope so.
And they're probably going to grow from it.
Hope so. It's not always the case, unfortunately.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what I would have really liked? Two things. I would have liked more of Sarah Goody. Yes. I want more Sarah Goody. And I'm hoping that they go down the route of a novella at the very least. Like what they did with Lenobia and Neferet in the House of Night series. I'm hoping we can at least have a novella about Sarah. I would like to know more about it. I'd like to know more about the founding of Goodville, her escape. I just want to know more about her. But also Abigail. I would really like Abigail age 16 as well, because I've got this feeling that it would be very Chilling Adventures of Sabrina-esque.
Yeah.
Obviously not the Satan worship and the baby eating. But yeah, I've got... you never know.
Trug!
Everybody goes through a phase during college.
Eat a baby or two, it's fine.
Exactly. I would really just like Abigail, because actually I really enjoyed Abigail for the very short period that she was in. I know. I would love more, because I can imagine her not being the sensible witch who knows all of this stuff. She's had to learn it. So I want to know about her mistakes and her...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want to know more about her. And kind of get the impression that they're... Probably because Abigail, age-wise, wouldn't be too much different from where we are if she had Mercy and Hunter relatively young.
Mm-hmm.
And I can imagine it being like set in the 80s and 90s and, you know, holy pop culture reference Batman. It would be beautiful.
It really would be. I would love, like you said, you want a Sarah story. I want an Abigail story.
I want both. I'm greedy. I want both.
It would be really great.
I would have actually quite liked it if the first book was set on Sarah, the second book was set on Abigail, and the third book was Hunter and Mercy. I would have quite liked that.
Yeah, I could have gotten with that. Do you know that I was surprised that Abigail died immediately?
Yeah.
It hurt me because I remember me texting you while I was reading it, and you had already started before me. And I was texting you all of these Abigail quotes, like, oh, I love her so much. And then, like, the next chapter, she's dead. Good on you for keeping that quiet, because I was so excited, yelling things about clitorises.
I think my only response was, yeah, I like that line as well. Oh, better say anything.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a good job you couldn't see my face. Oh. It's easier to keep quiet on text.
Yeah, it is. Oh, but I was so shocked by that. And, you know, also Xena becoming a person.
I'm not shocked by Xena. I'm not so shocked by Xena, because she was just fecking us.
I really
When you see the pictures of PC's cast, though, you can imagine it being a person.
Oh, you can. I really thought that, from what we learned from PC in past interviews, that Xena was just going to be a cat, but able to speak. Especially then when Emily's like, wait, your mom does have a spell so she can talk to this cat, doesn't she? And they're like, well, yes. So I just kind of thought she was going to be a charming little cat sidekick. But no, she turns into this beautiful, sexy woman who eats tuna and cream and cannabis truffles. Like, she's so great in every way.
I think the problem is, if she was a cat that could speak, it's a little bit too Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Right, and it's a little bit silly.
Yeah,
so
it might have been too much of a goof rather than like a gimmick rather than actually, it was this more sensible thing. Let's make the cat into a person, and let's make that person feckin' terrific.
Let's make that person chase after moths and hiss at people.
I love that she called everybody my little kittens as well.
Oh, I know.
I'm not the biggest fan of like pet names per se, but if you are,
you are a pet, it's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. So...
She's like, I don't like the can opener. It makes too much noise.
Oh, and she's constantly licking her hand and smoothing her hair and smoothing other people's hair and licking them and just doing everything that a cat would do, and it's wonderful.
Because she's a cat, it makes sense.
It's really good. Oh. Have we discussed enough for now, do you think? And then we'll direct everyone to our bonus episode for more?
Oh my god, secrets! Keep them secrets.
Yes.
Oh, we've got a bonus episode. Go and check it out because it's fucking awesome.
Yes, really, really and truly. Oh, man. Okay. So is it time then? Is it time?
It's time. It's very much time. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yay, I'm so excited for Would You Rather today because... Hold in the squeeze, me. We are joined by PC Cast and Kristen Cast again. We love them so much, and I have to squeeze. I'm sorry, I can't hold it anymore.
I can physically see you holding it back.
I know, like I had to back away. It's too much. It's too much for me right now.
Yay, we're happy to be here again.
Yay, we're so happy.
Yes.
So happy that you guys joined us again. I love that I'm like, hey, do you want to be on Fictional Hangover? And you're like, of course I do. And it makes me really
I think
happy.
we're starting to get a reputation. It's lovely.
Hopefully it's a good reputation and not a terrible reputation.
We will never tell.
Thanks. Oh my gosh.
It'll end up on a t-shirt regardless.
It probably will. We love making a good terrible t-shirt.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. So good. Oh, okay. So, I think I've calmed down enough, maybe, for right now. So what is our first Would You Rather question?
We're ready.
Would you rather be a cat that can turn into a person or a mythical creature wearing a skin suit? And I don't want to influence your decisions too much, but on Facebook, 57% of people want to be a cat person and 43% people want skin suit. Instagram, 88% people are cat people, 12% skin suit. And on Twitter, 69% of people are a cat person, only 31% are a skin suit. And on TikTok, 100% of TikTok wants to be a cat person.
That doesn't surprise
Cats.
me.
Wait, what was the first one with like the 40% of people who wanted to be a skin suit?
That was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Facebook.
On Facebook.
I don't need to go there anymore. Stay off of Facebook. Which I feel like that's I mean, I would be a cat person. A skin suit, no, that's
Gross.
That's
man.
too much.
No, I'd be a cat person too. I'd love to be a cat person, actually. It would be a lot of fun. I like it when I'm writing Xena, and I like to do the whole where she licks her hand and then wants to spit on one of her friends or something. And she's like, what? What?
It's normal.
I like it. Yeah.
That's what we were just saying.
Oh, I love when they shout about her, like, she's gonna lick her foot. Oh, so good.
What kind of cat would you be if you were a cat person?
Oh, I want to be, Zena's a Maine Coon. I'd definitely be a Maine Coon. All that beautiful hair and the ear tufts, man, that fur is everywhere. You have those floofy toes too. Yeah.
Would you lick your foot?
What is the kind of cat? Oh.
I might lick my foot. I might. I don't know. It depends on what I was stepping in, but I don't know. I definitely would lick my hand as a person and then chase Kristen around with it. It'd be fantastic.
Oh my God. Horrifying.
Kristen, you need your hair smoothed.
Come here, hold still,
You need
Kristen.
your hair. It's important.
No.
Mama will get it. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is such a mother thing to do as well. Just, I'll get, Yeah, mum spit. Everyone loves mum spit.
Gross.
Oh.
I just wrote this part. I just wrote in this, Kristen and I are working on Hex You. Oops, I'm sorry. Someone was beaming into my house. Kristen and I are working on Hex You, and last night I just wrote this part where Xena is going towards Mercy again, and she's like licking her hand, and because Mercy has some smudge on her face, and Mercy was like, stop, you've got to stop putting your cat spit on me, and don't do that. And she's like, you don't mind it when I'm a cat. And she goes, and Mercy says, you're not a cat right now. And Xena says, I'm always a cat. So
Xena's such a classy cat.
she is.
Yes.
Does she have the the rough tongue as a human? Like she does like a cat tongue. You know, have the rough.
Oh my God, gross. Oh.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
She's got a human tongue when she's in human form. That's good to know.
Hey, we need to get the particulars. We need to understand the particulars. It's important for all future cosplays.
It is. It is very important.
That's true.
No, you don't have to put a cat tongue on over your tongue. Okay, it's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad. Like, we have permission now to have human tongues. It's good.
Human cat teeth.
I almost put fangs in, but I decided against it.
Yeah, no.
So, do we have any good comments from social media that we need to share?
Just about to say, I like the comments that we've got on social media. Miss Rebel Ray on Twitter said, I'd rather be a cat that turns into a person like Xena. No thank you to the whole skin suit thing. Emoji.
Right?
Yeah, with her. Or them. I don't know. Yes, no. Oh my God. That terrifies me. It reminds me of, I almost said Mission Impossible, and that's not right. Men in
Yes,
Black,
that's exactly what I thought.
The giant cockroach bug guy.
Thank you.
And then he gets into that skin suit, and it's like loose on his body, and he oh my God, no, I can't.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love that. I love that that's where your mind went, because that is immediately what I thought. Like, it's Vincent D'Onofrio shambling around with loose, floppy skin.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad
Job
we can have
done.
that
We all got that
nightmare
image. Perfect.
Okay, another comment.
Okay.
This one is from Bree Tart on Instagram. She says, cat that can turn into a person. Transformation seems much more comfortable than squeezing into an elastic, fleshy, sausage-like casing.
Ew.
That is
Gross. Oh my God.
Gross.
that is descriptive.
Oh my God.
You
That
can
is.
hear the squelch as well, can't you?
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. It'd be moist too. Moist. Ugh.
Yeah, it would be.
No, thank you.
Kev on Instagram's also going to be a cat person. He says, I'm a cat person. I bet skin you wear would give major wedgies when you sit down. That's a man
Oh
with
my God.
priorities.
Oh.
Unless they had a really big butt, and then it would just be like saggy cheeks.
Mm.
Ew.
Imagine like saggy skin in tights, like in pantyhose. Just wouldn't work.
No, and you have like a saggy, drippy crotch area. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Nothing
No.
would. It would just all kind of like sag down and.
Drippy crotch.
Yeah, no, gross.
Oh, our last comment that we pulled from social media is from Coral on Facebook, who says, "Sweet and sassy Catwoman, definitely little kittens. She doesn't take any crap."
That's probably Coral Garcia, okay?
It is.
Yep,
It is.
one of our street team members. That sounds like Coral, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We love Coral.
Coral's one of our super friends as well. She's amazing.
Oh. So, Claire, are you going to be a cat person? I mean,
Yeah,
Sam and Kristen are
I think
also
it's.
cat people, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no point asking. You. I knew that one. Yeah, I'll probably be a cat person as well. If the skin suit's just not appealing, I can imagine it getting a bit stinky after a while as well. Do you remember when you have? Did you have to wear swimming caps you had to talc them up? When I was at school, you did swimming at school. You had to wear a swimming cap, and you had to put so much talc in them that you basically antiqued your head. And then when you snapped it closed, this puff of talc used to come out. And I can kind of imagine putting a skin suit. You'd have to talc it up, and it'd be like trying to get a wetsuit on as well. I just don't think it'd be comfortable.
I don't even. No.
I've been thinking about this a lot.
No, it's terrible. As much as I want to be a cat person, I kind of think that it would be cool to be a mythical creature. Shoved inside of a skin suit. Yeah, whatever, fine. But, like, what kind of creature could you be? You could be anything shoved inside a sausage casing.
Oh.
It could be cool. Except for the
Skin suit.
saggy crotch and wedgies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
But what if you were a unicorn? You could be a unicorn. I'm just saying.
You could be a unicorn, but good luck getting a skin suit to fit.
Yeah.
It depends on where the horn goes. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay that I'm inappropriate. It's fine. It's fine, me. Just go with it. Okay, next question.
Yeah, let's move on.
Would you rather have Xena's hair or Mercy's clothes?
Xena's hair. You can get clothes, okay? Hair that's different. I would love to have Xena's hair. I am trying to have Xena's hair, okay? Some big poof of just craziness. Yeah, I want Xena's hair. Although I also want Mercy's clothes, but I'll have Xena's hair, then go buy Mercy's clothes.
Yeah, I would rather have Xena's hair too, but I don't like Mercy's clothes, so that's
I like Mercy.
Why?
Mercy wears stuff that my teenage self would have really liked, so that's why.
I don't much care for like floral appliques.
They're not appliques, Kristen Francis. She's embroidering with her little fingers, her own little hands. There's no. There's no appliques.
Tomato.
And fringe. And there's lots of fringe too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm okay without that. Like, what if it gets caught in something?
Oh my God.
What if it gets caught in your skin suit?
Right? There are just so many problems that could arise. I totally use Xena's hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had Xena's hair before, and then I just chopped it off for ease. Like, uncontrollable masses, long, everywhere. Yeah. This is calm.
See, that's what I'm into right now. Look, do you see all of this?
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. Even though even though I added lots of extensions to be Xena, this was the base, and it got real big. So I think I'm just going to keep expanding it. Add more in, just get bigger.
I cannot wait to see your Xena cosplay. Okay, I can't wait.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it? I can't wait.
I might have made a video that's almost 3 minutes long of me doing cat stuff. So,
I know I watched the entire thing.
I enjoyed it. Okay. But Kristen, I think I agree with you. I don't like the hand stitched embroidery. I'm not a fan of that.
You can
appreciate
I like to be craftsmanship. The craftsmanship, you can appreciate that. It's not for everyone. No, I get it.
Right. I will appreciate it, on Mercy. Mm-hmm. And I'll dress plain like Hunter. That's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want
Hunter's style's more accessible, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's from Target.
Yes.
So.
Well, there you go. Accessible.
Definitely. It definitely is. What's our next question?
Would you rather be a cosmic witch, a green witch, or a kitchen witch?
Oh, I am a green witch, so that's easy. Green witch.
There we go.
And I wrote Hunter, and Hunter's a cosmic witch, and that's like, if I was a witch, that's my jam. Like, I chose that on purpose because I was like, ooh, this is amazing. I love this. So, yes, cosmic.
I can see that.
What about you guys?
Well, Amanda, do you know?
I think definitely a green witch. I'm super excited to get out of Seattle, move back to Arkansas so I can have a garden and just be surrounded by green again, even though it is very beautiful here, but I'm excited to be in that again. I need my tomato plants, okay? It's important.
I have tons right now. So Kristen's garden is magnificent, may I just say. Okay. It is magnificent.
I'm really good at gardening, and which I feel like is odd that I wouldn't want to be a green witch because I'm like studying horticulture and like super obsessed with plants and everything. But I don't know. It just like does that part. I feel like I want to do it myself, and it would almost be cheating.
Ooh,
that's
a good point. Yeah.
And I'm fine with
it. Would take the fun out of it for me, I think. Like the getting your hands dirty and all that kind of stuff. If I could just like walk outside and be like, boom, tomato plant flourishing.
Greater sense of satisfaction.
What about you, Claire?
Kitchen witch, I think. Like instinctively,
kitchen witch and green witch
it was
go
kitchen
very
witch
close together.
Yeah, I love being in the kitchen anyway, and I love concocting things, and the idea of like almost like potion mastery as well is a bit more interesting. I'm not the greatest green witch. Like, I have this week planted a full garden. I have literally dug an entire ton of soil by myself, put on a garden, and I didn't break my back. That was fun. So I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit more into the plants and nature, and especially my son loves nature, so I'm encouraged by him. But I think, give me my kitchen, give me my pots, give me my pans. I want a cauldron. The dream is to have a cauldron. And so, yeah.
It's
the green witch can feed my kitchen witch.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll grow you veggies.
Thank
I'll
you.
do it.
I always, when thinking about these type of questions, I always think you have to go with your gut and your instinct says, because that's where it lies, and not put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, next question. This one's a little bit tricky. Would you rather choose a god instead of a goddess, even though that's not ever done, or use blood magic, even though that's not ever done?
Oh, God.
I mean, blood magic for
Blood
sure.
magic for sure for me too. You guys
Me
too?
too.
Yeah.
Me too, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You know, blood magic always kind of, you know, it has like a negative, a bad guy connotation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm always the bad guy, so. Sweet.
Yeah, that's why because it's like very villain-y. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And it doesn't have to be.
Well, I'm just
like...
not giving up my goddess. I won't give up my goddesses. So blood magic it is for me.
And it's the way you use the magic, like the purpose, like the intent, not necessarily the craft itself.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
That's very true.
Yeah. What's a bit of blood?
Fine.
I mean, I'm going to be evil no matter what, so.
I know, right? Just lean into the evil of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just make my evil more powerful.
That's
what I need to do.
I thought that one was going to be a harder decision than actually it was.
Yeah, but...
No, it's super easy.
Okay, last question then. Would you rather be Sarah good or Abigail good? See, the thing is, though, we were talking about this earlier. We don't know a lot about Sarah Good or Abigail Good, apart from the tiny little snippets that you gifted us in the book. And, you know, side note, we want more. Please feel free to write their stories. So you might know a little bit more and have a bit more insight into Sarah and Abigail, which will inform your decision.
Well, I'm thinking Sarah, and we use the E. It's good E. Abigail didn't get very long in this lifetime, and Sarah had a nice long life, and she got to create this cool place and all this kind of stuff. I think that especially once she left Salem, I would want to be Sarah versus Abigail. Although Abigail had cool.
Yeah, unless we're in like oldie English times, I don't want to live
In the 1600s.
in that time. Like, that sounds gross. So I would take Abigail because, like, toilet.
Yeah. There's a lot can be said about plumbing.
There's a lot. Yeah, that's true.
Because toilets is my new favorite answer for everything.
Just toilets, tampons. Those toilets, tampons, and like antibiotics. Yeah, but
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. I'll take Sarah though. I'll take Sarah. I'll just deal with it. I pooped in the woods. Okay, so
it's fine.
We've had a lot of conversations this week about pee, so
We have.
Yeah,
We really have.
That is not surprising.
I think.
What about you, Amanda?
I want to pick Abigail, even though we didn't get to see her very much. Just the awkwardness of talking clitorises with your daughters and penises and like, hey guys, it's totally fine. Let's talk about your clitoris today. That's what I'm up for.
Mm-hmm.
Give me all the awkward conversations. Love them.
Yeah.
I love to make people feel awkward, and let's do it.
If you can't scar your child through talks of penises and clitorises, are you parenting right? I can't wait for mine to get out of. I want to be Abigail as well, because even though, like what you said, she doesn't have a long life, while Sarah... Could Sarah have had a long life back in the days of no penicillin? 30 might have been old for her. But I can imagine Abigail having, like, Abigail Goody, the college years, been an absolute riot. So I think she would be like all over the place.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Braless and fancy free. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
We kind of figured she'd probably be
too.
like an 80s, 90s girl as well. Based if it's based now, then she probably would, and that's like my eras. I'm all over those eras, so I'm like, yes, I need Abigail Goody.
Right?
College
Yeah,
years.
me too.
Yeah.
with the crimped hair.
Yeah, we definitely need those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Just pointed look.
And that'd be fun to tell too. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the end. That's the end of Would You Rather. That was the last question.
Ooh.
It was awesome.
Yay!
I feel like we were like really on the same page for a lot of these things.
True.
Also awkward on purpose, which was really good. It's great. I love it. Okay. Would You Rather is over now.
I'm sad.
Me too.
CBT.
But I just love PC Cast so much.
I will say, I've said this is the third time I will say this. She is an absolute role model and an idol.
She is.
A wonderful person.
Yes. And Kristen's great too. I mean, come on.
How can you not be when you're the product of waves at another whole person?
Right. Yes. And you take everything that's amazing from your mother and then also add your own awesomeness to it. It's perfect.
It's great.
Everything's great. All right. So, favorite final thought quote?
I've got a couple.
Me too.
I've got 6. Her life was about to change in an amazing and magical way. But still, change was big. Change was difficult. True.
Very true.
True. What you put into the world returns to you, and that goes for thoughts, acts, and energy. And for me, people need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, stop being
Cough,
garbage
Twitter,
people.
cough, cough. This nightmare is our new norm, and we have to stop it. Again, this is something we haven't said already. You know, the PC and Kirsten cast, they write very rich commentary of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this one. I felt seen in this one. A witch is only as effective as she is organised. Okay, my next one. Wait. Spell? Like, actual witch stuff? Duh. They're actual witches. Duh.
Duh.
And my last one, which is my big one for fun. Being able to eat or drink chocolate is one of my favourite things about being a person.
Oh, Xena.
Oh, Xena. The only carnivore in a house of vegans.
All right. I've got way too many. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Mercy, you're not British.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about how she called people wankers and said bloody hell. Oh.
Rage face, for the listeners, rage face currently on the Brit.
But it was so great because she was called out about it. You're not
Exactly.
British. Stop it.
Thank you.
Next. Sweetheart, would you like to discuss your clitoris again? I do not need clitoris help.
It's the again bit.
I know. Like, how many times was this conversation happening? It's so perfect.
Too many is the answer.
This one is a little bit more serious. Not shouting about a clitoris. That was one of the strange things about grief. How it turned some into weights and reduced others to the molted skin of the person they'd been. We all deal with everything differently. Especially if our grief gets magically taken away.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, by Beth's spectacular nipples.
You went British there when you said that.
Did I?
You did.
Oh, excellent. I love Xena, and that she's shouting about nipples. It's very good. Aw, twin love gives me a big warm feeling in my cold dead heart. It's a good Emily quote. And then she was like, oh shit, your mom's dead. Sorry, shouldn't have said that. In my cold dead heart. Whoops.
I love her awkwardness.
Oh, me too. And then the next one is also an Emily. Can I pretend to almost be a witch? That's how I feel. I'm gonna almost be a witch. And here's another Xena, or something about Xena. She was going to lick her foot. I would really love to see Xena in human form licking her own foot. Or licking others' feet. It would... That's how kitties fix things, okay? Okay, finally, this is my last one. Right now, her library card and every book she'd ever checked out were worth their weight in gold.
As soon as I heard that line, I was like, yep, there's Amanda's. I didn't even bother making a note of it.
All right. If you liked this, try this. What do you have to suggest today?
Well, mine is a witchy book. It's a teenage book. And it's probably a little bit on the nose in terms of to the theme of this month. Mm-hmm. Because this month's book club theme is Season of the Witch.
Oh, hey.
And the book I'm going to recommend is Season of the Witch.
Oh, hey.
And it's by Sarah Rees Brennan. And I listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by Jessie Valinsky and Nicole Zanarella. And it was an excellent narration. It was absolutely brilliant. It's actually based on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina from Netflix. So Jessie Valinsky does the Sabrina parts, and Nicole Zanarella does the in the dark section. So it's from different characters' point of views and their thoughts and stuff. And she almost has like a January LaVoy kind of voice, kind of like that smooth voice. She's very smooth. Very delicious to listen to.
Wonderful.
So, the summary is from Goodreads. So, it's the summer before her 16th birthday, and Sabrina Spellman knows her world is about to change. She's always studied magic and spells with her aunts, Hilda and Zelda, but she's also lived a normal mortal life. Attending Baxter High, hanging out with her friends, Susie and Roz, and going to the movies with her boyfriend, Harvey Kinkle. Now time was running out for her everyday normal world, and leaving behind Roz and Susie and Harvey is a lot harder than she thought it would be, especially because Sabrina isn't sure how Harvey feels about her. Her cousin Ambrose suggests performing a spell to discover Harvey's true feelings, but when a mysterious wood sprite interferes, the spell backfires in a big way. Sabrina has always been attracted to the power of being a witch, but now she can't help wondering if that power is leading her down the wrong path. Will she choose to forsake the path of light and follow the path of night? It's literally just before the series starts as well.
That's fantastic.
It was an enjoyable listen as well. Very short and sweet, but it was a really enjoyable listen.
Wonderful. All right.
And what have you got?
I have selected The Ravens by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan, and my summary is from epicreads.com. At first glance, the sisters of ultra-exclusive Kappa Rho Nu, the Ravens, seem like the typical sorority girls. Ambitious, beautiful, and smart, they're the most powerful girls on Westerly College's Savannah, Georgia campus. But the Ravens aren't just regular sorority girls. They're witches. For Scarlet Winters, a bona fide raven and daughter of a legacy raven, pledge this year means living up to her mother's impossible expectations of becoming Kappa Rho Nu's next president. Scarlet knows she'd be the perfect candidate, that is, if she didn't have one human-sized skeleton in her closet. For Vivi Devereaux, being one of Kappa Rho Nu's ravens means getting a chance to redefine herself. The only thing standing in her way is Scarlet, who doesn't think Vivi is Raven's material. But when a dark power rises on campus, the girls will have to put their rivalry aside to save their fellow sisters. Someone has discovered the Raven's secret, and that someone will do anything to see these witches burn.
Ooh.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't read it yet, but it sounds fun.
It does. Do we have an indie spotlight this week?
We do have an indie spotlight this week, and oh, I'm so excited about it because I don't know if you knew this, but our favorite Brie Tart on Instagram,
yes,
who always has wonderful Would You Rather responses, is also an indie author.
Yes, for I have checked out her Instagram page.
Indeed.
Not in a stalkerish way.
No, in a good and pleasant and friendly way.
Fully legal sort of way.
Yes, yes. So she has 2 series out, Exiles of Aera and Heart of Hellfire. Exiles of Aera starts with Iron and Ivy, which she describes as modern girl versus magical world. It features changelings and princes and curses and Irish fae. And let me tell you, I've read the first chapter because I just looked into it, and it's good.
Cool.
The other series, Hearts of Hellfire, starts with Sweet Child that has the tagline, "When secrets kill, she gets even."
Nice.
This one features a secret society with magical beings that are a threat to the main character, Helen's daughter. These beings might have killed her mom, too. Better watch out because Helen seems like a badass. So everyone go and read these books. Check them out. You can find them on your Kindle. So good.
Excellent.
Seem just like so much fun.
They do. They sound really good as well.
Yeah. So check those out, everyone. Go and buy them right now. Support your favorite indies.
Brie. Support your favourite listener comments.
Yes. All right.
I always enjoy Brie's comments.
Me
always
too.
Do.
Me too. And so you think, like, okay, this is fantastic and it's so full of snark and just ridiculousness. Like, her books are going to be exactly the same.
Exactly. If you could win us over in 2 sentences, what's a full book going to do?
It's going to be amazing. Sold. All right. That's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Blue is for Nightmares by Laurie Stollars and featuring superfan Constance and author Laurie Stollars. Surprise! Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Also, don't forget to check out our bonus episode this week. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com, follow us on Instagram at fictionalhangover, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover, and on Twitter at fictionalhangover, no ER. If you'd like this episode, check out our others and rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.